Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about the URMR max level vision card buffs that Japan has, and we will be getting around the 1 year mark for global. Now we don't know that they're going to be implemented exactly the same, as we have had global upgrades and changes to units and vision cards in the global server, but we're going to prepare ourselves the best we can. And the reason I'm sharing this is because some of the vision cards coming up that you choose to build, they might have some of these level 99 abilities. And how these abilities work is they're essentially an extra party ability that is only unlocked after getting a vision card to level 99. But these party abilities, they only apply to certain elements and they do not stack with regular party abilities. So if you have a party ability that gives slash up for ice units, it won't stack with slash up from echoing screen for those light or ice units. So obviously this could have major implications for team building. People will try to have mono element teams to make the most of their vision card party abilities, or they might just use one-offs of certain elements depending on the cards that they have in their composition. So what we're going to do now is go through every single element and show all of the level 99 abilities. I'm not going to tell you what the new cards do that are in Japan that haven't come out here yet. That's going to happen in the Should You Pulls. Now if you want to know what those cards do, then you can go to wardthevisionscalc.com and you can look up all the cards that you want if they've piqued your interest. And if you want to skip ahead to a certain element, then you can use the timestamps in the video bar. So let's start with water, and here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put up a chart that I've made that has every single card that's out in global and Japan, and it's marked if they're limited, and it also has their ability that they get at level 99 that is specific to water in this case, or the element that we're covering. And then I'll go through some highlights of the cards that I think are particularly useful or applicable to a wide range of situations. So if you want to look through this list, you can pause the video. I'm not going to waste your time just reading out everything that's on the screen. So the first card I want to talk about is the Holiday Party, and this is the only, actually now I have two cards, max level UR cards, and this is one of two cards for me, and it gets increased dex 35% for all water allies. I think that's really, really good. That's going to help your critical rate, that's going to help your hit rate, it's going to help damage for certain units, and then this is already a really good card if you have Ildira. It is very specific and limited for the rest of you though. We've also got Leviathan, which is going to have pierce resistance as its party ability, and then it's also going to have area resistance for water allies. This is obviously going to be a really good card, and if you plan to use water units, then you're going to want to max it. Now we have the Ramada card that's coming out in around the 1 year mark, and that has some applications with pierce units, but it also is going to give you 20% magic resistance, which is really sick. And then the Mega Rare Final Fantasy X collab card, this one gives you accuracy for all water allies, so that's just a good thing to have on top of the water specific abilities that this card will give you. Now we have fire, and you can go ahead and pause the video if you want to look at all of these abilities. But the first one I'm going to talk about is the Merilith card, which also comes with an Esper. This is not out yet in global, but you get increased attack for all fire allies, and lots of our fire characters are attackers, physical attackers, so this is obviously a nice little buff. Then we have the second collab card for Final Fantasy XIV, and this will give you pierce resistance. And I thought, okay, well this is a limited card, but pierce resistance is such a huge stat right now that people would be interested in seeing this. This card is actually fairly unremarkable, and I don't think I would pull for it even with the pierce resistance, but it is something I wanted to draw attention to because it makes the card a little bit better. Then we have Path to Revenge, and this is a really good card. You get slash attack up, you get defense up bestowed, and then now you have magic resistance. So a lot of people also have this maxed because it's MR. This is definitely going to be a really good card if you build a fire party. And then we have Birth of New Life, which will give attack resistance, so that's single target resistance, and this also gives luck and HP up, so this is a really good card for MR, and again, if you have a fire team, then it's something you're going to keep your eye on. Moving on to lightning, and I'll give you a quick second to look at this list. That's delightful. Okay. First up, we have Aigaion, who will get increased HP 25% for all lightning allies. That's obviously just a good ability to have on top of what he already provides. And some of the high HP lightning units like Sid is pretty good. He'll get a big boost there. Then we have Frederica's Dream, another well-used lightning card, or commonly used lightning card, I should say, and that will give you missile resistance for lightning allies. So it basically means that mirror matches with other gunners who will also have Frederica's Dream will then, be resistant to each other. So it's kind of funny, but I mean, that's a solid effect. Now we have the Envious Magician, which is a good MR card, and it's going to give the Human Killer for lightning allies on magic attacks only. So who does that apply to? Well, it applies to these two, Celir and Skull, and if you already have Skull's UR card, then this becomes less applicable, but if you don't, then all of a sudden you got a little taste of it for free. And then we have Rubius, which will give slash resistance for lightning allies, and obviously that's just an all-around good resistance to have. And if you forgot what Rubius did, so did I, so you have to go look it up. Here's the Earth list, and you can see that there's only one limited card on here, and it hasn't come out yet. It's the anniversary card that we're all going to get for free, and we can max for free, so that's not a huge deal. So otherwise, these are all on the table. Taking a look at Titan, which is already a very good card, you also get evasion rate 20 for Earth allies, and this is going to apply to a few units. So Ketone is the first one that comes to mind. And if you didn't know, Balo actually has the highest luck in the game and can be built for evade, even though his agility is very low. And then we have Christmas Venera, who I think has okay agility. Like, she's not as high as the regular Venera, but she's got high luck, so she's definitely, and she also has ninja sub, so I think she can do some evasion stuff. And then we've got Calum, which will give you accuracy, and it already gives you dexterity up and slash resistance, so it's a solid card, but if you have a mono earth party, then this is a good inclusion to get accuracy if that's what you're going for. And then Greetings from Afar, our Aqua Killer, which is just really applicable for Raid or PvE. Well, now it's a lot better because you get increased Earth Attack 20, which is just a great ability. And then Ochu, everyone's big boy, has Pierce Resistance, which again is a very applicable effect. This also gives Pierce Attack up, which is less applicable for Earth allies, but maybe you have Mont as your tank, then you have Ochu to give your other Dragoons some Pierce Attack up, and then Mont is the one that gets the Pierce Resistance, and that's fine because you want him to have that as a tank. So Ice has less cards than everybody else, but they're pretty good. So starting off with Odin, which is a card everybody can build to max for free because you get the guild medal shards for him. He gets increased accuracy for allies, Ice allies. That's massive, that's absolutely huge. And then the Moonlight Fang Fenrir gets increased attack for Ice allies, and now there's lots of attackers, we've already talked about that. And this is a card that is built for attack, it gives agility, it doesn't give any magic, so this is definitely something that you would put on an attacking unit. This is just a huge buff for an already good card, so this is looking amazing. Then we've got the Mask of Deceit, which will give Pierce Attack for Ice allies, and that actually applies to Victoria and Lastwell, who has Dragoon sub. So this card is, again, already pretty good, and now it's even better. It gives you Missile Resist with the party ability, and you can stack some Pierce Attack with that as well. Victoria is already resistant to the missile teams, which would mean if you have this card on her, and then it gives the Pierce Attack up for Ice allies, she could be doing big damage and also be taking out missile teams. And then we've got this card that everybody got for free, everyone maxed it for free, and it gives you some increased magic for Ice allies, and I like that because that applies to 2 of our units, but you also get accuracy up, which is a really good all-around ability, so obviously if you're building an Ice team, these are some good cards to look at. Wind got shafted in my opinion, and I'm going to draw attention to Marlborough at the bottom there that gets 15% magic resistance for Wind allies, and that's good, but then the party ability is increased strike attack, which is really vague, so I don't think that that's going to be a massive card that you're going to look at. I've actually only picked 2 cards to look at for Wind, the first one being Downtime, which just came out, and you can go max it right now if you want to. There's still plenty of time, and what this card does is it gives you 20% slash resistance, and someone actually told me that in the comments of my review video, and that's why I actually had the inspiration to make this video, so thank you for that. Maybe I'll try to find that comment and put it up. And then otherwise, Chocobo, which is a card I have maxed but I haven't pulled yet, so I really want to get this card, and I want to get it for live PvP, and that's why I picked it for this slide, because it also gives you charm resistance for Wind allies, and I think that could be pretty good in live PvP as well. Light and Dark got a lot of really good stuff, so we're definitely going to take a close look at these cards, so go ahead and take a look at the list if you want, and then we'll highlight a few. So Scions is the biggest regret I have in the game, that I did not max this card. The multiple chances that we had to do it, one of them with the Whimsy Shop update, but it gives you slash attack 35 for light allies, so this just becomes an even better card, and there's so many light slashers, this is absolutely insane. Then we have Scions of Shadow, which is the Final Fantasy XIV collab, and I do have this card, but I don't have it maxed, and it gives 20% dark resistance for light allies, and that's crazy. That's so good, because obviously your one weakness is dark units, and to be able to combat them better while giving light attack up to the entire party, this is a really big deal. So it's now in a stronger place in consideration for me to max it when this collab will come back eventually. Then we've got the Bahamut card, which is not out yet in Global, but it will increase attack resistance for light allies. That's just insane. And then there's a Ziza and Vistral card that will give evasion rate up for light allies, and then you could do your evasion Engelbert with his high luck, or your evasion Rob for that. And then there's more. We've got Red Chocobo, again, limited card, but it gives you Dark Killer, so maybe when you go against those dark teams, you can try to really take them out. This also gives party ability light attack up, so that's huge. And then the Snow White Guard gives you area resistance 15, so this is already a defensive card that's getting even better. This is definitely a card that a lot of us have, and a lot of us will have maxed because it's MR. You're just going to max it naturally over time. If you've played the game long enough, you'll pull all of the MR cards and all the dupes that you need to max them. And finally, we've come to a very dark place, because you can see that Dark is a very strong composition right now in Global, and they have the most buffs from their vision cards, and their vision cards got insane buffs. Like, just look at this list. It's absolutely incredible. So let's go through it. So first up is Demon Wall, which I labeled downtime by accident, and now I'm wondering if I mislabeled the rest of my slides. This has dark resistance up 20%. So for those mirror matches with your Kain, if you have this card, which you do if you have Kain, this is obviously a really, really big deal. And then we've got our beloved sidekick Chocobo, which has increased light resistance. So here's the card that will give you a bunch of dark attack for your entire team, and then it's going to solve your one weakness. Well, it's not going to solve it, but it's going to help a lot towards your one weakness, which is just crazy to me. Then we've got Black Rose Helena, which is not out yet, but will give you accuracy for all your dark allies. Again, it's already a good card. I won't tell you what it does. You can go look it up. But now it's even better. And then Omega, beloved sidekick Chocobo, increases magic resistance for dark allies. And again, that's a massive effect on a really good card. I don't understand what's going on here. And then we've got Becoming Stronger Than Anyone Else. And, you know, there's Dark Dragoons, Dwayne and Stern. They can get attack resistance for your Dark allies. That's really good. And then maybe their jumps are faster. I don't know. I did not do the math. And then we've got the Perks of Having Charm, which has Light Killer, and it gives you light resistance. So if you don't have Diabolus maxed and you have the Perks of Having Charm maxed, well, you can still get some light resistance for your team, you can get some Light Killer for your team, and then you can have these lovely ladies charming your pants off. Alright, that's going to be all for this video, and it looks like Dark's getting even stronger, but remember that you have to have these cards at level 99 fully maxed, and if you don't, well, you don't get any of that ability at all. It's also going to lock in your composition quite a bit. Mono Dark is already a thing, that's why it's kind of crazy to me that some of their best cards present and future are all getting really good max level buffs, but you know, whatever, we're going to deal with that any way that we can. So let me know what you think in the comments. You know, if this was useful to you, then please do tell me. I love getting that kind of feedback. Lets me know that I'm on the right track. But I also want to know if you've got any of these cards maxed, or if there's certain cards that you're looking forward to. And basically I have this video now, and you can refer to that for all your needs in this realm. And then when I do my review videos, I'm not going to talk too much about, you know, 4 months from now. I'm going to talk about, you know, the present of what these cards can do for you, and I can refer to this video if you need help with the max level vision card stuff. But you know, I'm going to get out of here. It's New Year's. Happy New Year's, everybody, and we'll see you next time.